Rufus boy, let me love boy, what you know. Rufus boy, let me love boy, what you know. Rufus boy, let me love boy, what you know. Rufus boy, let me love. Caught up in my tape. Don't care what you say, I'ma bite your feelings out. I miss you in the basement.
What's going on, everyone? This is Zach with Strictly Shisha, and I am back in town. I'm getting settled in my new condo, so it's time for a review. You guys see in my past videos, I've been testing out this Phantom Honeycomb hookah, and it's been a very cool experience testing this thing out. When I first saw it in Vegas at the Hayes booth, I wasn't that impressed when I first saw it, but upon closer inspection, this thing is definitely unique. In this small profile acrylic body, it has two honeycomb diffuser plates built into the stem, which yields a very cool and smooth smoking experience. Definitely reminds me of the Zara honeycomb hookah, and that thing is made of glass and it's coupled with a really high price point. It's out of my budget, so I never got one, but this thing is a little more in my budget, so I'm excited to share a little bit about this hookah with you guys. And although the design is very, very cool and ingenious, it's not without flaws. So definitely watch this whole video to see if this hookah is worthy of earning its place in your rotation. So let's get into the design of this hookah and show you guys what makes this thing tick. So from the bottom of the hookah to the top of the bowl port, it measures about 9.5 inches. And to show you guys in reference to my hand, this is a very tiny hookah, a lot tinier in real life than it pictures online. And this is comprised of a lot of different pieces, but it's actually very simple to understand and take apart and reassemble. The top of the hookah here has these tensioner screws, which actually affixes the top part to the base itself. So all you simply have to do is unscrew the tensioner screws just a little bit so it pivots into those larger holes. And you simply screw it like this, so the large holes align with the screws, and you take it off. This hookah is probably one of the easiest hookahs to maintain, keep clean, assemble, and customize to your liking. So you guys have the base here is an acrylic base. This is where you guys can fill up your water, or you can clean it out to your liking, keep it nice and shiny. And now this is the piece where all the action happens. This is the main part of the hookah. And as you can see, the signature honeycomb acrylic diffusers are already built into the stem. And the manufacturer advertises that there are 40 holes per disc. Now, I'm not going to count them, I'm going to take their word for it, but there are a lot of holes in this, which leads to good diffusion and filtration while you're smoking. And as you can see, the discs are held in place by these silicone stoppers. These silicone stoppers are movable, so you can adjust the height of the disc and the position along the downstem. When I first started smoking this, I preferred the discs close to each other and all the way at the end of the stem. It created a bit of restriction in my smoke and made it seem like smoking a traditional style hookah. But throughout my testing, I realized that this wasn't for me anymore, and I prefer them about 1.5 inches apart from each other. You actually have the option to remove one of the discs if you'd like as well, but it comes with 2 discs, so why not use both of them? And that's the best part of the hookah. The top part here is affixed in a similar way. It also has a silicone stopper, which allows this top part also to be adjusted. And although it's really great that you can adjust this hookah, customize the restriction, customize the draw, you can choose how loud you want it. The problem for me is because everything is movable, it's hard to keep the position consistent every time you smoke, and I found this to be very cumbersome. In addition, I found some issues where when you're actually shoving on your bowl really hard onto this hookah, this whole piece can actually be pushed down, and that can hinder my session in a negative way. It ends up being a little annoying overall, but the customization is really cool. And to reassemble it, it is super easy. All you do is you line up the holes again. There is a gasket in between these 2 layers, which adds a bit of tension and also seals the air. Line up the holes, twist it counterclockwise, just like so, and twist the screws again. As you can see, very, very easy design. You do not have to remove the screws. You don't need any tools. They are thumb screws. You have a hole for the purge here. And the purge is very interesting. It's actually a silicone purge, and it's branded Apple on top. So I guess Phantom doesn't make their own purge. They're using the Apple on top purge. All you do, shove it in the hole. Once again, very easy to do. You have your hose port here. It's angled outward. And that is because the tray here is in very close proximity to the bottom here. So if you had a hose port that was protruding, it wouldn't work very well. As you see the tray, very, very simple design, no lip, flat design, matte black, and just sits on the top here. One of the issues I had with this hookah though, this bowl port, this metal part here, is actually removable. And it's almost too removable. It swivels around, it comes off. So what I did, a quick fix, I added a little bit of electrical tape, just a little patch to increase the diameter of this acrylic part here. So now it's nice and firm and it doesn't fall off, and I can literally hold the hookah by it if I wanted to. And at the beginning, this was one of the flaws that I encountered when testing this hookah, but a simple modification, I fixed that. Now I don't have to worry about it. So I'm back and the hookah is all set up. This hookah does not come with tongs or a bowl, but if you guys saw in the up close portion of this hookah, it does have a male bowl port. So you can use any female bowl of your liking. Today I'm using one of my favorite bowls, the Goodfella V3. I have a little bit of trifecta tobacco apple pie mixed in here with a little bit of FML to add cooling to this, using the Ottoman Ignis with 4 charcoal flare quarter circle coals. The hose I'm using is the hose included in this package. This is the Phantom silicone hose. The silicone on this is a little rigid, but it's not bad overall. It has a thick acrylic handle to it, and it fits really nicely in the hose port on this hookah, which has a riveted edge on there, so the hose just doesn't fall out easily. It's nice and secure in there. The hose has a little bit of restriction to it, but because this hookah is so wide open, they pair very nicely together, and I like the draw overall. But let me take a few hits for you guys. Considering how small these coals already are, this thing is absolutely ripping. I'm hitting nice, fat, robust, huge clouds. So you guys can see this thing performs extremely well. I'm really happy with the performance of this hookah overall. And the Honeycomb diffuser rings in here yield a really nice and smooth smoke. It really breaks down those bubbles. So the rumble that you get with something like the Chica was like blah, 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 really, really heavy when you're watching a movie or something. You get really nice fine bubbles in this, and it's supposed to add with filtration. I don't think that really makes a difference. For me, it really quiets it down. It's not as quiet as the Zara by any means, but still a lot quieter than a traditional hookah without a diffuser. So this is something that's gonna sit on my front coffee table when I am watching a movie and my girlfriend's trying to watch something stupid like The Bachelorette or something, and she needs to hear every word of it. This is something that's not gonna interrupt our hanging out time and good conversation. Let's get into the purge. The purge, like I said, is a silicone purge from Apple on top. It's not the most wide open purge, but it does function kinda, and I'll demonstrate the purge right now. The base is full-ish. So as you can see, it does expel smoke, but you're not able to clear the whole chamber. For me personally though, it actually purges enough for me. I don't purge that often, but it works enough if I had to purge. But as you can see, there's still plenty of smoke in the base. But I don't really mind it that much. The tray itself, it's not the most functional tray, but at least it has a tray. A lot of hookahs these days are not having trays, but I'm all about that tray life because I'm always dropping stuff everywhere. It does let a little ash drop here and there, but it's a tray and it works. All right, so there's one feature that Phantom actually does not advertise. This hookah has the ability to keep you hydrated while smoking. And although hydration is really important, it's not something I want my hookah to do for me. That was one of my biggest concerns while testing out this hookah. I dealt with a lot of flooding. Every time I would take a hit, I would get a little bit of water in my mouth. And although Christian says that when I smoke really oddly. I take really deep inhales right off the bat, and most people take more consistent hits, and they're not just like, and that may be the reason why I get flooding. That's the way I choose to smoke, and that's my style of smoking. And the way the hookah was set up at the beginning wasn't conducive to my way of smoking. But I realized after testing, if I adjusted the distance between the 2 Honeycomb diffusers, I could really reduce that flooding. And since I found the perfect height, about 1.5 inches between the rings, I have not experienced any flooding since then, nor in my session today have I experienced flooding. So I'm kind of dehydrated, so I'm gonna go drink some water in just a minute. So thankfully, flooding is not an issue anymore with this hookah, and that's partially why I take a long time to do reviews for you guys. I like to thoroughly test out every product and find out the best configuration of everything so I can go through the growing pains and you guys can just enjoy. And you guys know I take forever to do reviews, and they're never at the right time, always after sales or when no one cares about a product anymore. But this time, I waited for the perfect time. Christian, Hookah Chef, is actually doing a giveaway on his Instagram for a Phantom Honeycomb hookah. He's giving away the red one. This is the blue one here, and I believe they come in black as well. If you guys are like me and you're probably not gonna win and you're not that lucky, definitely check out 5starhookah.com where I got the Honeycomb hookah, and they retail for about $165. And for that price, despite its minor flaws, this hookah is absolutely fantastic. I love the small profile acrylic base. I love that I'm not gonna break anything. It's acrylic, so you get nice pure flavor every time. The Honeycomb diffusion system in here is not just a marketing ploy. It functions well. You get nice, smooth hits every time. You guys saw I blew some huge clouds. The design itself is very, very unique. It's versatile. It can be a desktop hookah. It can be a travel hookah. There are a lot of uses for this little hookah. So definitely pick this up from 5starhookah.com if you think this thing is worthy of your collection. And thank you guys as always for watching. I always appreciate you guys taking your time to watch my videos. And please comment below with what you guys want to see next. I have a few things in line. I have the Aviator hookah coming. I have a Apache bowl. But I want to hear what you guys want to see. So comment below, let me know so I can pick things up for you guys. And thank you guys as always. Thank you 5 Star Hookah. Thank you Phantom Hookah. Bye guys.